I gave it a shot. What's up, everybody? Jimmy back. We'll do a brand new video. Today I saw Kong Skull Island early. Wow. It is going to be the hardest thing in the world not to give away spoilers. Welcome to my spoiler-free review of Kong Skull Island. I'll get into, how I saw it, how the viewing experience and everything like that was in the spoiler review. I'll get into all that stuff. But, Jesus, first reaction, see it 2 weeks before the premiere, March 1st. It comes out March 10th. Oh my God. Go see this movie when it comes out. You have to. It is one of the best movies I have seen in my life. Better than Shin Godzilla. I praise Shin Godzilla all the time. That is one of that you guys should know. That's like one of my favorite movies. I talk about it all the time. Kong Skull Island's way better. Kong Skull Island is incredible. Godzilla 2014 doesn't stand a chance against this movie. This movie is so much better. It is just, it starts out, alright, so I'll get into what I can get into without spoiling things, okay? Pacing, it starts out, the first shot of the movie, you are immediately engaged. I'll get into what that first shot is in the, spoiler review. You are immediately engaged, you are pulled into the movie, and it does not stop. It just keeps going and going and going. It is so intense. I mean, there are scenes in this movie, this isn't a spoiler, knowing that this cast is mostly expendable, you are on the edge of your seat the whole time. I could not calm down this whole movie. Did not give me a chance. Like, I was constantly like, oh, I can't stop moving. It's just that it is, the words cannot express this movie and how great it is. So, alright, pacing is, it's great. I mean, it does not stop. It starts strong and it ends strong, okay? Music, really good. I didn't think the music was as good as Shin Godzilla. That is one aspect that Shin Godzilla destroys this movie in. The music in this movie is pretty good, better than 2014 soundtrack in my opinion. I'll have to listen to it some more once it officially comes out on Friday. I'm gonna listen to it a ton, but this movie, from what I heard, sounds pretty great. From what I heard, I saw the movie. From the soundtrack that I could actually comprehend and pay attention to over the dialogue was pretty good. I mean, the island, the main theme that we heard back in, it just came out. It plays obviously when they discover Skull Island. Wow, that one, when that kicks on, I just had the biggest smile on my face, and then once Kong shows up, once he really shows up, it does not stop. The Kaiju stuff is amazing in this movie. I mean, some of the visuals are so great. Vogue Roberts does such a good job with this movie. You can't settle down. It is just, he puts you into the moment and you just are stuck there and you just have to find out what happens. It's just, guys, I cannot do this without spoiling stuff. So the characters, human cast, pretty dang great. I mean, yeah, it is awesome to see some of these guys die. Way cooler than you might think when these people start dying. And then, the death scenes are incredible. The characters that, your main characters that you follow through most of the whole movie, they're pretty great characters too. I love all these characters. Me and my dad were having a conversation on the way back from the movie after seeing it about, what do you think about this and that? What would you have done? What would you wish they did better? Both of us came up with pretty much the same complaints. I had 3 complaints, he had 2. His 2 complaints were, number 1, could use more Kong. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, wait, what? Because the trailers show a ton of Kong. Guess what? This isn't a bad, this is one of my complaints also, going along with the could have been more Kong. The trailers, despite not showing us, we thought that we saw everything from the trailers. Despite the fact that that's not true, this movie has plenty of surprises in it, and when these surprises happen, you are just like, oh. Okay, so, but Kong's footage, we did see the majority of Kong's footage in the trailers. Kind of a bummer. That is, it's sad. But, there is a lot of more Kong footage in here that there is still to love. A lot more Kong footage in here that there is still to love. I think whenever Kong's on screen, obviously I had a big old smile on my face. It's just great. So, Kong's footage is great despite there not being enough new footage of Kong. Then, the other complaint that both of us had was Tom Hiddleston's character, and this is going to sound weird at first. Tom Hiddleston's character, James Conrad, really great character, okay? His problem is that he's overshadowed by almost all of the other characters, which is not a great thing. And I don't mean like it's a giant cast of people. I don't mean like each and every one of them is better than him. I'm saying that the ones that really seem to overshadow him, he is made out to be this great, like really cool character, like leading up to him. Once he shows up, he is overshadowed by John C. Reilly. In my dad's opinion, I don't agree with this one, but Packard, played by Sam Jackson. There's another character whose name escapes me, and also the actor escapes me. He's the grenade guy from the trailer. He does a really good job in this movie. He also, in my opinion, also overshadows Hiddleston. Weaver almost overshadowed. The two of them are kind of hand in hand here, where I feel like both of them were overhyped. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because they're great characters. It's just that there's better characters in the movie, so when you see these characters get overhyped and then all of a sudden someone else shows up that's even better than them, it kind of takes you off guard. You're like, whoa. And that kind of feels the way that it is with some of these action sequences too, where they seem to overhype stuff like the Boneyard. They seem to overhype that, where you're like, oh god, they showed us everything. Kong's appearance with the helicopters, you're like, they showed us literally there's nothing more. And then you watch the movie and you're like, where did that come from? That was wow. And there's just, so the kaiju stuff's great, human stuff's great, music's great, pacing's great. Comedy, here's one of the problems with my theater. The comedy was a big problem. Also the like big moments when you're supposed to cheer, both of these were problems with my theater. This isn't a bad thing. My theater did not laugh a ton. My theater did not cheer a ton, because we were so wrapped up in the movie. We could not pull ourselves out of it for like a second to get away from this, just to laugh and be like, oh, that's a funny moment. There were funny moments. We all knew they were funny. We couldn't do anything about it, because this movie puts you in such a position, you're just there along for the ride, and you can't do anything. Or at least in my opinion, I could not do anything. I was so engaged in this movie. It was so hard to break away and laugh and enjoy it on like a movie level. I can't wait to see this movie again. That's going to be one of the hardest things. Waiting 2 weeks to see this again, oh, it's going to kill. It is so good. So, god dang, this movie is great. There is one scene in particular at the end of the movie you don't see coming. No one on Earth saw this one coming. Alright, here's the thing. A lot of this channel, D-Man1954, a lot of our predictions were correct. A lot of your guys' commenter predictions were correct. Not all of them were correct. In fact, I'm going to say most of them were wrong, but still, there was a good chunk of the things we predicted and everything like that was spot on, correct. We got that, and we knew what was going on. There was stuff that you guys predicted in the comments that I was like, that is stupid. And I was like, there's no way. I mean, like, you can, just use some logic. And then I was like, oh, damn, watching the movie, because I was like, you guys were right, and I was wrong, because that was not stupid. That was incredible. There is just this moment in the last, I'm going to say, 20 minutes of the movie. Everyone's jaw dropped, okay? This is one of those moments that is one of those ones that the crowd is supposed to cheer for. No one cheered, because we were all amazed at what we just witnessed. Literally, I was sitting there and I was waiting for something to happen. I'm not going to say what, and I'm not going to say what was going on. I was waiting for something to happen, and I was like, ooh, is this going to do it? And then they do the exact, they do like something completely different, way out of left field. You don't see it coming at all, and I just sat back and I just went, and I literally had to lean back in my chair, like take a minute to realize, and I was so excited by what I saw. No joke, like my eyes teared up. I was sitting there with the 3D glasses on. By the way, 3D is amazing in this movie. See this movie in IMAX 3D, alright? I'm personally one who hates 3D. Honestly, if I'm going to say like golden standard, I haven't seen it in IMAX yet without the 3D, but I'm going to say like that might be my golden standard. When I see it again on the premiere on the 10th, or the 9th technically, when I see it then, I'm going to, hopefully we see it in IMAX non-3D, just so I can compare the two, because seeing this movie, first of all, see this movie in IMAX no matter what, don't see it in standard showing. don't see it in standard showing. It will not work to the same effect. You are just sucked in IMAX, and it is so massive. Like, you're looking at one thing on one side of the screen, something else comes at you from the other side. You're just, whoa. And then, yeah, I'm getting so excited here. I'm way more excited than my Shin Godzilla review. So then, it's also mostly because Shin Godzilla was basically spoiled for me entirely 100% before I saw that movie. This movie still has loads of surprises. Like, there's scenes when Kong, like, does one thing or another, and it just flies right at the camera, and you're like, ugh, so it comes right at you, and this is great with the 3D. 3D, for once in a lifetime, actually worked, and it worked well. Oh, man, so, God, man, when you watch this movie, the scene at the end, you were expecting one thing to happen. I had to sit back, like, eyes teared, like, we thought the kiss of death was cool with the MUTO. No, this puts that one to shame. This stomps that into the ground, Kong style. I mean, God, you'll know the scene when you see it. And I'll do my spoiler breakdown. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about spoilers. I'll get it out whenever I can, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about spoilers. They didn't say anything against it, so I technically could do a spoiler live stream, and then just not do a spoiler review technically on the channel up until, I'm probably going to wait up until around the 9th or 10th when the movie actually comes out. And if you're like, hey, wait, how are you going to do a live stream your band? DMan1984, second channel, link in the channel bio, and also on the homepage for the channel. Click that link, subscribe, because I will be live streaming. I've decided I will be live streaming all about Kong Skull Island this week, or maybe next week, probably this week. And Jesus, this scene that I'm referring to is so good, and I won't even spoil it in the spoiler review. It is that good. Then everyone's wondering, end credit scene, what is it? You're gonna wait a while. It is an end. It is a post credit scene, not a mid credit scene. Marvel movies do mid credit scenes and post credit scenes. This one's the post credit scene. This fooled a lot of people in the theater, I think, because everyone should know that there's gonna be an end credit scene. Maybe some people just didn't care, but yeah, there's a scene there's like a video that plays off to the side of the end credits through the start of the end credits. Like, end credits are rolling here, video is playing here, and a lot of people might be like, oh, that's the end credit scene. So when it ends, they're like, I'm out. No, don't leave. You are gonna want to stick around for what comes after, because, oh my God, man, it starts out and you're like, wait, is this Ferris Bueller? Did they just totally pull a Deadpool on us and just do a Ferris Bueller reference ending? Because it starts out, and this is what I will say, it starts out as a Ferris Bueller reference, and you're like, wait, they really gonna break the fourth wall here? That totally ruins everything. Nope. No, when it's revealed what's going on, it is so cool. So when you finally realize this, it's like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Then they amplify it. They take it to a whole nother level. They just show this incredible stuff. You are going to want to see this. Everyone needs to see this who's a King Kong fan, Godzilla fan, and who's ready for Godzilla vs. Kong 2020. You got to stick around for this end credit scene. It is so good. And then, fade to black. You hear it. I'm not going to say what you hear, but you hear it. Whole theater roared cheering so loud. We were all hyped. This movie's so good. I'm having trouble formulating it into words, man. I'm going to read my online review that I left a couple people. It is, I have seen Kong Skull Island, and I can confidently and genuinely say this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. And I personally, I believe that. Genuinely, I believe that. It has incredible visuals, character, music, tone, pacing, and most of all, the kaiju battles. Though something can be said about the spoilery world of the TV spots and trailers, and they do reveal a bit too much, in the grand scheme of things, this is a must-see. No amount of words can describe how amazing parts of this movie are. The after-credit scene, and yes, there is an after-credit scene, left my audience cheering. If you thought Godzilla 2014's Kiss of Death was amazing, you just wait to see how Kong deals with one of these MUTOs, avoiding spoilers about which monster it is. At the end of the movie, it left my audience literally speechless, and it was so cool. This movie's incredibly exciting. I no joke, teared up with excitement at parts. 9.5 out of 10. That 1.5 that I deduct, this isn't in the review. That 1.5 that I deduct comes straight from the TV spots. You showed us too much. That's enough being said there, because what is new is great, and the way it all pieces together is incredible, because oh man, I love this movie. King Kong vs. Godzilla is always going to be my favorite movie of all times, no matter what. Even if Godzilla vs. Kong is way better than it. Personally, I think this movie, Kong Skull Island, is better than King Kong vs. Godzilla, the same way that I think Kong 33 is better, same way that I think Kong 05 is better, same way that I think Godzilla 1954 better. A lot of these movies are, not a lot, but some of these movies are better than it. Better made, better characters, better this, better that, better, everything. Still, King Kong vs. Godzilla is my favorite of all times. Nothing will ever in the world change that. This movie is better than that, and if I'm going off how good they are in terms of quality, this movie is just below the 1933 Kong movie. It tops every other Kong movie that there is. It is so good. Once again, 9.5 out of 10. Go check this one out. First chance you get. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you for the spoiler review. Also, I will still be doing Kong theory videos, and you might be like, well, how's that going to work? I wrote down theories before I went and saw the movie. Now knowing that some of them are right, some of them are wrong, I am going to have to power through these theory videos without spoiling anything. Just going off of, alright, here's what I predicted before the movie, and then I'm going to break down these theories and everything like that. There are some pretty cool theories that, may or may not happen in the movie that I think you guys should hear before the movie comes out. And because I was originally going to do it before the movie comes out, and I've just already seen it before it comes out. So these theories videos will continue, news updates will continue, everything like that. Nothing's going away. Just the only thing that's adding is my knowledge, as well as the fact that I've done a spoiler-free review, and I will be doing a spoiler review. So, go check out D-Man 1984 so you don't miss the spoiler review. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. D-Man, out. And yes, this Kong is still growing, and he will definitely, at the very least, nearly kill Godzilla 2014.